Hi, I'm Judy with Amazing Trails Yoga doing another mother-son yoga with my son Tim, and this is a full body yoga with a few push-ups in it, some eagle wraps, and you'll work your way up and you'll really enjoy it. And where are we, Tim?
We are in Bronson Canyon in Hollywood, California, in front of the Bat Cave from the Adam West Batman TV series.
So really cool. I love it here. We're having so much fun, and we'll see you on the mat. We will start standing in Tadasana with our shoulders right over our hips. Our palms are facing forward, and we're going to inhale looking up, exhale down. Inhale looking over to the right, exhale forward. Inhale to the left, exhale forward. We'll do that again. We're inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling to the right, and exhale. Inhale to the left, and exhale. We're going to inhale our arms up. Intertwine your fingers and palms come up toward the sky. And we're going to lean forward. Very good. Take your right hand on your left wrist and we're going to over to the side, to the right. Nice stretch. And forward. Grab your left hand on your right wrist and over to the left. Nice. And forward. We'll intertwine our fingers, palms forward and up and back forward. We'll do that one more time. Grab your left wrist with your right arm and we're leaning over to the right. You're going to bend your left leg. You can go a little bit further to the center. Grab a hold of the other wrist and we're leaning to the left. Bend your right leg. Good. And coming forward, our arms are going to be outstretched. And we're leaning forward and coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. Come halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana, and a forward fold. Hands on either sides of your feet. Lunge your right leg back. We're in a lunge. Nice lunge. Let yourself adjust to this. Lower your knee to the mat, come to the top of your right foot, and open up your left arm out to the side. Great. And come down. Take your foot, come over the top, and we're coming into a downward facing dog. From downward dog, you're going to walk out your dog. You're bending your legs back and forth. Very nice. Inhale up into a plank and we come down, knees, chest, chin. We come up and take a nice breath. We're just going to move our hips from side to side in a full cobra. This is really good when you do ab work. You do a little bit of that, right, Tim?
Right.
And we're coming back into a child's pose. From child's pose, activate your arms. The crown of your head is forward. Third eye on the mat. Very nice. Now coming over the tops of your toes in a toes pose just for a brief second. We're straightening our legs and downward facing dog. Look between your hands. Lunge your right leg up in a lunge. Very briefly, you're just dropping your left knee to the mat and we're coming up into a full forward fold Uttanasana. Coming all the way up, hinging at the hips, coming up and around and down again. We'll do that on the other side. We're bending forward and Uttanasana. Halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana, also known as monkey, and Uttanasana. With this, hands on either side, you're lunging your left leg back. We're in a lunge and just adjust for a second. Lower your left knee to the mat, come over the top of your foot and extend your right arm up to the sky and down. Very nice, come over the top of your back foot. We're coming into downward facing dog once again, walking our dog. We've had plenty of dogs to walk in our lifetime. And we're inhaling into a plank. And we're dropping knees, chest, chin, coming back up into full Papa Bear Cobra over the tops of your feet. And you're just moving around. Don't forget when you do ab work to do this great stretch. And we're lifting up, coming back into the child's pose. Very nice. Very nice. The third eye down to the mat. Activate your arms. And you're coming over the tops of your feet into downward dog. Beautiful. Look between your hands, lunge your left leg up. Very briefly, drop your knee to the mat and join your feet together, forward fold. Hinging at the hips, we're coming up and around. Palms together in prayer and Tadasana. Take a nice breath. How we doing?
Not bad. Still can't touch my toes, but that's all right.
That's fine. Everyone's at a different pace. We're inhaling our arms up, and you are grabbing your left wrist with your right hand. We're leaning over to the side. Beautiful. And coming up, other side, your left hand over on your wrist, leaning to your left. And up, and we're bringing our palms down. We're going to stick our noses forward, drop your chin to your chest. We're rolling our head over to the left and gently down and over to the right. Gently down, we're going over to the left. And one more time, gently down over to the right. Beautiful. Coming to stillness. Inhale your arms up. Again, grab your left wrist with your right arm. We're tilting over to the side. This time you're dropping your right arm down your right side. This can help you go down a little bit deeper. Look up at your left arm, at your left hand, at the sky. I see a bird circling over us. And we're coming up, our palms are together. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. We're going over to the side. Beautiful. Dropping your left arm down your left side. Look up to the sky, to your arm. And looking forward. And we're bringing our arms out to the side. And hinging forward, coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana, monkey, and a forward fold. Hands on either side. You're going to lunge your right leg back. We're in a lunge. We're staying up this time. You're taking your right arm and you're making a big circle around backwards. 1 time, 2 times. Beautiful. We'll go the other way, forward 1 time, opening up your rotator cuffs, and twice. From this, hands on either side of your foot. We're taking our left foot back to meet our right, downward facing dog. Beautiful. From downward facing dog, you're lifting up your heels and bringing them over to the right, and maybe you could drop them so we're getting a nice stretch on the left hand side. Good. Coming back up, back into downward dog. Inhale into a high plank, and because Timmy's here, we're doing a push-up between all of these. So 1 beautiful push-up. You could skip the push-ups if you want. Coming down again, and we're coming up into an upward facing dog. Now drop your knees to the mat. We're coming into child's pose. Beautiful. From child's pose, walk your hands over to the right. Keep your seat on your heels. Give yourselves a nice stretch on the left. Inhale and exhale. Walk your hands back into child's pose. You're coming over the tops of your feet very, very briefly in a toes pose. And straighten your legs in downward facing dog. Beautiful. From downward facing dog, look between your hands, lunge your right foot up. Drop your left knee to the mat really briefly. Bring it back up and both feet come together, forward fold. From forward fold, we're hinging at the hips, coming up, up and around. And we're gonna do this on the other side, so we're hinging at the hips again and down. We come halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana, and a forward fold. Hands on either side, take your left leg back. Beautiful. You can use a block on your right hand if you need to bring the earth closer to you. Otherwise, take your left arm and we're bringing it around one time, really close to you. Again, opening up. How's this feel?
Good.
And then the other way. Great. There we go. Now take your right foot back to meet your left in downward dog. You're lifting up your heels and you're going to bring them over to the left. Drop your heels, give your right side a nice stretch. Beautiful. From this, we're picking up our heels, coming back into the downward dog. We inhale into the high plank, nice push up. Beautiful. Then we come down again and upward facing dog, and drop your knees to the mat as we sit back into a child's pose. Walking our hands over to the left, keeping our seat on our heels. Nice. Give yourself a nice inhale. Exhale. Good. Walk our hands back. We're both gonna get a bit dirty today, nothing new. And come over briefly into toes pose as you lift your seat up to the sky, downward dog. Look between your hands, lunge your left leg up. Again, very briefly, your right knee's gonna drop to the mat, and we come up into a full forward pose. Come all the way up, hinging at the hips, very nice. Up to the sky, our palms are together in prayer, and palms forward. Next round, you can separate your feet a little bit. So we're gonna do some head circles. It's a little hard if your feet are totally together. You're sticking your nose forward, chin down. We're rolling our head to the left. You can just keep going side to side or come all the way around. Beautiful. And then all the way around again. Nice. When we come to the center, we'll go the other direction. Keep your palms forward. Nice. Does this feel good? Are you feeling some crinkly noises, Timmy?
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful. Inhale your arms up. And when we're bending down at the hips, we're bringing our arms around behind us. Interlace your fingers. And we're coming down into Uttanasana, forward fold, lifting our knuckles up toward the sky. Beautiful. Halfway up, we're coming. We kind of look like a torpedo. Our arms are straight behind us, a right angle. And coming down again, knuckles up toward the sky. Maybe even closer over your head. Nice. Take your arms, unlace them, put them on either side of your feet. You're bending your legs. Your right foot comes back in a lunge. Take your right heel and drop it to the mat. We're coming up into a warrior one. That's great.
I'm on rocks here.
So we're in Warrior One. Our hips are faced to the front of the mat. Bring your arms around behind you. Interlace your fingers. Your hips are still squared off toward the front of the mat. We're leaning forward. Your left shoulder comes to the inside of your left knee. Knuckles up toward the sky. Great. And then we're releasing our hands. We're bringing them to either side of our foot. We're back in a lunge. And take your left foot back to meet your right, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale your right leg up to the sky and pump it for 3. For 1, 2, 3. Nice. Bring it down. Your left leg up. We're going to pump it. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. We come back into downward facing dog. Inhale into plank. Down for the push-up. Up again. Again, you could skip this. Down again. And then we're coming up into upward facing dog. Rest your knees on the mat. We're coming back into child's pose. From child's pose, you're taking your hands and bringing them behind your head. Maybe you could tap your shoulders. Can you do that, Tim?
Yes, I can.
Nice stretch for your arms. Great. Then we bring them forward. We're straightening them. Come over the tops of your feet in a brief toes pose. And back up into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, look between your hands. Lunge your right foot up. Briefly drop your knee. And bring your left foot up to meet it, forward fold. Hinging at the hips, we're coming up. All the way up and around. And we're coming forward again, hinging forward 90 degrees and down. Beautiful. Halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana and a forward fold. Hands on either sides of your feet. Lunge your left leg back. Very nice. How we doing, Tim?
Not bad.
Great. Drop your left heel to the mat. We're coming up into Warrior One. Keep going. Your arms around behind you. Interlace your fingers. Your hips are squared off toward the front of the mat. We're leaning forward with your right shoulder to the inside of your right knee. Crown of your head toward the mat. Knuckles up toward the sky. Humble warrior. Lovely. Unlace your fingers. You're bringing them to either side of your right foot. Pick up your back heel, and we are in a downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, you're going to inhale your left leg up and pump it 1, 2, 3, and down. Your right leg up. 1, 2, 3, and down. Really, really nice. Come forward into the high plank. We come down to push up, back up, and then down again, and a upward facing dog. I'm thinking for a second. Drop your heels. We're coming back into the child's pose. Bend your arms at the elbows. Touch your shoulders, the nape of your neck. And bring your arms forward. We're coming over the tops of our feet briefly in toes pose. Straighten your legs, downward facing dog. Look between your hands. You're going to lunge your left leg up. Briefly drop your knee and bring your right foot up to meet it. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Beautiful. We're coming up, hinging at the hips, up, up, up. And I want to hit you. Palms together. And we come into prayer. Beautiful. From prayer, take a nice breath. A little hot out here. This is Southern California, Hollywood, really cool. What's the name of these caves?
Hollywood, Bronson Cave.
Bronson Caves. And take your fingertips forward And we're opening up. I'm going to step forward so we don't hit each other. We're opening up, palms forward. Take your right arm over your left. Give yourself a nice hug. Great. Open up again. And give yourself another well-deserved hug. Keep hugging. Your arms, your right is over your left. We're going to wind your arms around together into eagle. Beautiful. Lift up your elbows. You feel your back opening up a bit. Shoulder blades.
I feel something.
And come down. How's that feel? A little bit more?
Yeah.
And you're lifting your elbows up. And you're going to come down. You're hinging at the hips and come all the way down in eagle wrap. From eagle wrap, unwrap. Take your hands to either sides of your feet. Lunge your right leg back. And drop your heel to the mat. We're coming up into warrior one. Beautiful. Your arms come out to the sides. Again, right over left. We're eagle wrapping our arms. Lift our arms up, our elbows up. And we're coming down. Coming down into a humble warrior in the eagle wrap. Beautiful. From this, we're unwinding our arms. Our hands are on either side of our foot. Right heel comes up. We're in a downward dog. Inhale your right leg up, bending it at the knee. You're going to make big hip circles one way. 1, 2, 3. Nice. And then the other direction. 1, 2, and 3. Nice. You're coming back into downward dog. Inhale into high plank. Ready for another push-up? Down for the push-up. And we come down and an upward facing dog. Beautiful. Drop your knees to the mat. Sit back on your heels into child's pose. Take your right arm and you're going to thread the needle under you. Your palm is up. Take your left arm, you're going to cross it over and your forehead comes down to the mat. So we're practicing our eagle wrap, making it a little bit deeper, more intense. Take a nice breath, nice rest. And we're unwrapping our arms. We're coming back into the child's pose. Come over the tops of your feet, a little toes pose. Straighten your legs in downward facing dog. Very nice. Downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up. We practice this. Look between your hands and lunge your right foot up between your hands. Briefly drop your knee to the mat and your left foot will meet your right in forward fold. Coming back up, hinging at the hips. We're coming up, up, up. Palms together and down to prayer. In prayer, take a nice breath. We'll do that on the other side. And your fingertips come forward. Your palms are facing up toward the skies. Your arms open wide. And bring your left arm over your right. Open up again. Left arm over your right. Nice hug. Your eagle wrapping your arms. Great. Lift your elbows up and down to your chest. You're opening the backs of your shoulder blades. Coming up again, inhaling up and hinging at the hips. We're coming down. Good. How's that feel, Tim?
Well,
well, is that what you said?
I guess my legs don't bend.
That's perfectly fine. Unwind your arms. They're coming on either side as you inhale your left leg back. Your heel comes to the mat. We're coming up again into warrior one. Open your arms out to the sides. And your left arm comes over your right as you give yourselves a hug. Wind your arms around an eagle, beautiful, and we're bringing our elbows up and coming down. Our right shoulder's on the inside of our right knee. Unravel your arms or on either sides of your foot and pick up your back heel. You're coming back into downward facing dog, beautiful. Lift up your left leg. You're going to bend it and make big hip circles one way, doesn't matter which way. As long as we make 3 one way.
There's a bee messing with me.
Oh no, other way. Nice. Very good. Come back into downward dog. We inhale into plank and we come down for a push-up. Upward facing dog. Oh, we do a push-up and then we come down again. So let's do a push-up. I think I gave you an extra push-up. Come down again and then we come to upward facing dog. We're dropping our knees to the mat, coming back into child's pose. From child's pose, take your left arm underneath you, your palm is up, threading the needle, your right arm comes underneath too. We're crossing, eagle wrapping our arms, so to speak. Just getting it ready for a really deep eagle wrap, relaxing at the same time. Unwinding our arms, we'll bring them forward. Come to the tops of your feet. In toes pose very briefly. We're straightening our legs. Back in downward dog. From downward dog, inhale your left leg up. Look between your hands. Lunge your left foot up. Briefly drop your right knee to the mat. And your right foot comes up to meet your left forward fold. From forward fold, we're hinging at the hips. Coming up, up, up. Good, palms together, into prayer, and down. At this point, we're going to do some total eagle wraps, a little balance. So you're going to need your block.
Okay.
You could use 1 or 2 blocks. You'll have to adjust it. Okay, and there we go. Very good. So your palms are together. You're opening up. Palms are up toward the sky. Give your right arm, bring it right over your left, nice hug, and then we're eagle wrapping our arms. So if our right arm is over our left arm, your left leg is going to come up and wrap around your right. Very good. So from this, and you stay right where you are. I'm taking this mat, which is a little thick. If your mat is too thick, you might want to come off the mat. So I'm going to be coming off into a lot of dirt. So much for my white pants. And you're coming down, crouching more like an eagle. Take your left leg, unravel it. You're coming into a warrior 3. Now take your right hand onto the block. Whoop. Your left arm comes up to the side. Very good, half moon. Beautiful. Square off your hips so both hands could come on the blocks or 2 blocks. And we're doing a split squat, so bring your left leg behind your right. Good. And then back up into the standing split and open up your left. You're shaking, which is fine. Yogi shake, that's good. We did not practice this at all. And I never expect anyone to be perfect. Bring your left arm down, squaring off our hips into a standing split. Left leg comes behind the right like a curtsy. And then bring it back up into standing split. One more time, you're opening up to the left. Beautiful, beautiful, Tim.
Yeah.
And coming forward, you're squaring off your hips and bring your left leg to meet your right, forward fold. And we're coming up, up, up. And our hands will meet and we'll be in prayer. And that's good. We always like a challenge. And I'm really glad that nothing is perfect, because I never want you to feel like you can't do it. Everyone's at different stages in our lives.
I can kind of do it.
Yes, you can.
Good enough.
You're being a great sport. He's tolerating me. Take your fingertips forward. You're opening up your hands out to the sides. Great. Now this time your left arm is going to come over your right. You should give yourselves a nice hug. Keep the left over the right. You're eagle wrapping your arms. Now, since your left is over your right, you're going to pick up your right leg and wind it around your left. Beautiful, an eagle. Go to crouch forward, if you will. Unravel your right leg, and we're coming into a eagle warrior 3. Unraveling your arms, your left arm comes onto the block or the ground as you open up into a half moon. Nice. Square off your hips. You could use the blocks. That's good. And a curtsy squat. Good. And then bring your back leg into a standing split. Open your right arm up to the sky, your right side. And bring your right arm down, square off your hips, standing split. A split squat, beautiful. One more time, we extend our back leg, standing split, open up to the right. Beautiful. Bring your right arm down, we're squaring off our hips. Bring your right foot to meet your left, a forward fold Uttanasana. And we're slowly coming back up. How is that?
I should have brought 2 blocks. I'm too heavy for one.
Oh, okay. Yes, 2 blocks is a little bit more recommended. With our hands together, our feet together, maybe your toes want to touch. We're coming down, we're lifting our heels, and we're coming down, down, down. Another little bit of a balance into cosmic egg. Or a ball of yarn. Are your heels up, Tim?
Yes, sir.
You can grab a hold, give one more hug to yourselves, and we're coming down. Very good. We're going to come back a little bit. You can extend your legs. Very nice. Take a nice deep breath. And we're going to hold hands. This is my son. I don't get to see him as often as I would love. And we're slowly coming down. Very nice. You're coming down too. And we're lying down. You're going to take your legs, bend them at the knees. Take your right over your left. You're going to eagle wrap your leg. So your right leg is over your left. So your left arm is going to go over your right. Okay? Take your feet to the mat and your fingertips up forward. And we're going to do some eagle wrap sit-ups. Now, Timmy, how many brothers do you have?
3.
So we'll do 3 sets of 3.
All right.
Okay, so coming up, elbows to knee. This one's for Frankie for 1, down. Frankie for 2, makes it easier. You could name any people you like. Frankie for 3, and down. Then we have Patrick for 1, and down. Patrick for 2, and down. Patrick for 3, and down. And one more, we have Corey for 1. I had to have 4 sons, huh? Corey for 2. Beautiful. And Corey for 3. You're keeping your legs up and you're unwinding your arms, bringing them out to the sides. Okay, you're going to scoot your hips over a little bit to the right, sorry, and you're going to drop your knees over to the left. A nice spinal twist. You could look over your right side. Beautiful. Does this feel nice? Take a nice breath. We're winding down. Have a few more sit-ups to do. Sometimes I count by way of people. It makes it easier, makes it more fun. Looking up to the sky, and we're bringing our knees back up, unraveling them and putting your left over your right. So if your left is over your right arm is going to come over your left. Eagle wrap. Your toes to the mat, your fingertips up overhead. And we have 3 sets of 3 for 3 brothers. So we have Frankie for 1, down. Frankie for 2, down. Frankie for 3, down. Patrick for 1, down. I wonder what you're saying at home. Patrick for 2, down. Patrick for 3, down. And then we have Corey for 1, down. How's this feel, Tim?
Good.
Corey for 2.
Except for the rocks in the spine.
Corey for 3. And we come down with our chest and our arms. Unravel your arms. Very nice. And what side did we lean on before? Did we go that way?
We went that way last time.
Okay, so we're going to go over to the right. And you're breathing. Doesn't hurt to do both ways. A nice spinal twist.
You're probably right.
Beautiful. And looking up to the sky, we'll bring our knees back up, unravel your knees, and your feet are up in the sky. And this is a very nice inversion. If you want a little bit more, take your hands behind your legs and you can push your butts up a little bit, your bottom up. You could come into a shoulder stand or stay right like how you are. So you could do the shoulder stand. If you want to have a little fun with the eagle wrap your legs, just for a little fun. Can you do that, Tim? Good.
Kind of. Something gets in the way.
And then unraveling, go the other way. Beautiful. Nice. Then we're bringing our legs back straight. So unravel, dropping slowly if you're up in a shoulder stand, back to where our legs are elevated. Going to take your hands to the outsides of your legs, bend your legs at the knees. We're coming into happy baby. Just because Timmy's my baby, always was, always will be. Your feet maybe could stamp up toward the sky. Out to the side, beautiful. And bring your feet and knees together. You're going to let one leg straighten and the other. Your feet can splay out to the sides, the palms of your hands up to the sky. You're coming into Savasana, the final resting pose. You stay as is. I'm going to come up and just adjust Tim a little bit while I have a partner here. I don't always have this luxury. Just relax. Pulling you a little bit further. How's that feel?
Good.
Final resting pose. Let your body absorb all it has done. Great. Give your toes a nice pull. If you have a yoga partner, maybe you can take turns doing this with each other. I do this with my yoga. I do sunrise yoga at my house every Wednesday morning. They get a nice foot massage. Very grateful for people to join Amazing Trails Yoga. Coming back. You could stay here as long as you like, otherwise wiggle your fingers and toes, wrist circles, ankle circles, one way, wakening up the other way. Beautiful. You could draw one knee in and the other, Tim. Come on, wake up. Time to wake up. Maybe your hands can come behind your knees. You could roll up. And we're coming into a Sukhasana, cross-legged position, facing the side of the mat. Thank you so much for joining Amazing Trails Yoga. Myself, Judy, my son, Timmy, here in California. We're really having a ball. It's so wonderful to fly all the way from New York to visit him. And you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste.
Thanks for watching.